I hate Jude Bellingham so much. He gets away with anything he wants in La Liga, and for the first time, it feels like ever, he was finally punished for this insane, childish behavior today by getting a red card, actually, against Osasuna. So we're going to take a look at it. We're going to take a look at what the ESPN FC commentator said. We're going to risk the copyright of this video to talk about it because it's ridiculous. And I also think it's good that they're punishing it. I'm going to talk about a little bit what he is doing for those of you guys that haven't been watching Real Madrid this much, and try to understand why he did get the cards. To start off, Jude Bellingham has been constantly berating the ref over and over again every single match this entire La Liga season. It's ridiculous. It's gotten worse than Vinny by far, and it's gotten so bad to a point where I legitimately dislike Jude more than any other player in La Liga right now. It has nothing to do with his sporting ability. Like, I think he's a good footballer. I think he's very good at his position. I think he's a great finisher. I think he scores a ton of tap-ins, but he's able to get in those positions and deserves credit for that. The Pedri comparisons are incredibly forced, in my opinion, but I think he is a good player. That being said, I think he acts like a spoiled 12-year-old on the pitch every single time that he plays. And it is like truly delusional to believe that you're able to talk to the ref every single time something goes wrong, because that is literally against the rules. You're not supposed to be allowed to talk to the ref after a foul if you're not the captain of the team. We see a lot of players go up to the ref and talk to them if they get fouled themselves or they're very upset about it. But it doesn't happen every time. It doesn't happen to be the same player every single time, except for Jude Bellingham. If he's fouled, he's complaining. If someone else is fouled, he's complaining. If someone is fouled in the build-up 3 minutes earlier, something happens and play gets stopped and Jude has the opportunity to walk by the ref, he complains to the ref about what's going on. It's so stupid. And he gets away with it, right? That's the worst part. You're supposed to get a yellow card for dissent when you're talking to the ref. We've seen Jordi Alba historically scream at the ref all the time and constantly got yellow cards for doing that. Xavi got a red card basically every single game last season for the same thing, for complaining at the ref, for yelling at the ref. Hansi Flick made a gesture at the ref, like, oh my God, like it wasn't anything incredibly derogatory, and he got a red card. Robert Lewandowski sniffed his nose as whatever, it's like a Polish comment for corruption. I don't really know what it meant, but he got a 3-match ban, I think, for that. Jude Bellingham has yet to be punished severely or significantly or in any way for constantly not only complaining, but yelling and cursing out the referees. It's so stupid. It's like me going up to one of my editors and cursing them out because they made a mistake or they did something that I'm not in love with. Instead of just talking to them about it, these guys are doing their job. They are getting paid to be the referee, the linesman, and Jude thinks he's like higher than everybody and gets to complain and yell at them and berate them like he's their father. It's incredibly stupid. And so let's get into what he did today. He got a red card, and first I'm going to show you what Craig Burley says, so you get a little idea of what we get on ESPN FC every week. It's a joke, but I'm going to tell you exactly why I'm almost certain it actually happened before the referee report comes out and we can know for sure. I'm almost certain I know what happened.
And then the 39th minute, here's where the controversy comes in.
So a bit of arm waving from Bellingham. Nothing major there, it seems.
No encroachment on the officials, not particularly close.
Look at Modric as a captain, having a little word with the referee. He's still remonstrating, nothing major. See this every game. This referee.
Okay, so you guys get the picture there, right? It doesn't look like he curses at the ref directly, but if we go back to when he actually yells the first time, he's looking at the linesman or the fourth official, and he looks like he's saying F off. He looks like he's cursing him out, and then he yells again, but you can't really see it because the camera is moving. And then he runs up to the ref and has that conversation. But when the referee blows the whistle, he points over there. Maybe it's stopping play, but he points over to the fourth official or the linesman and then gives Jude the card. And it seems like he got a message in his ear from that fourth official or from the linesman saying what Jude said to him. And then he gave him the card for that. If he cursed out the referee, he's supposed to get a card. I don't know if it's supposed to be a red card. I think cursing at the referee to the extent that Jude always does is enough, especially if the refereeing committee wants to show that they aren't biased or whatever, and actually punish Jude for the behavior that he has been having, because there was a clip from a few matches ago where Jude curses at the linesman, like really badly too, and it went a little viral, and I can see the refereeing committee having a conversation about it and saying we need to punish this kid the next time he does it. So I would assume maybe the referee they've been discussing this clearly, that, hey, the next time something significant happens, we need to show this guy that they can't do this, that he cannot do this, that no Madrid players can act like this again. I don't know, that's a little bit of an ambitious theory, I would say, but it would also make sense to me because none of these guys have any idea why it was called, and I think that makes the most sense to me. And but nonetheless, like, this is so stupid behavior from Jude that they feel that they can constantly talk like this. It's such a joke, and it's such a disappointment for me from a player that has so much potential. He's looked at by so many people as maybe a role model, just this great, exciting player that we'll see for the next decade. But he's acting like a like so incredibly immature in a way that it's disappointing. It's just disappointing. That's all. And look, I know Jude hasn't always been the best behaved. I've seen stuff about him not getting on well with his teammates at Dortmund, and I wouldn't be surprised. Guys that get praised like they are going to be the next big thing, a lot of times have ego issues. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times they do. Jude clearly does. I like, just to feel like you're that much, you have the right to berate someone for doing their job, especially when it's a job that is not objectively done. There are calls that could go either way. Football refereeing isn't a science by any stretch of the imagination, and guys make mistakes. But don't curse somebody out for making those mistakes. You know what I mean? If I make a spelling error in my title, you guys can laugh at me, but you don't curse me out in the comments. Maybe it doesn't affect you directly, so that's a reason. But if an editor that I used once, or a thumbnail designer, makes a mistake on a YouTube video, the YouTuber has no right to curse them out and scream at them. And Jude is acting like such a prima donna here. I'm just astounded at the Madrid fans that are going to go crazy after this. And that's the reason I'm getting this out so quickly. I stopped watching the game because I want to get this out, because I know Real Madrid TV is going to make some wild remarks yet again. And I think those remarks in the past, putting pressure on referees, may be part of the reason that this dissent has not been complained about or penalized nearly as much, because they are feeling the pressure of Real Madrid TV, of the media, of whatever nonsense and power Real Madrid have. Because you can argue about corruption in Spain until you're blue in the face, but it's undeniable that they have a lot of power in the media. Florentino Perez is incredibly powerful in media in Spain, and there's been stuff I've talked about it in the past, but that affects referees. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons that referees haven't taken a movement towards penalizing it in the past. It's going to happen now. Clearly, this was a statement today. I don't know exactly what happened. We'll see it in the refereeing report. Madrid TV is going to complain about it, but you can't curse at the ref. Flat out. I wanted to make a video complaining about Jude because I hate him so much. He seems like a terrible human being, a mean person to the people he's working with and the people that make his job possible. You can't play football without linesmen. You can't play football without a referee. And Jude Bellingham seems like the most toxic human being on the pitch. And he is good. He is talented. He is influential and inspiring to people that grew up like him. And it's so disappointing to see him acting like this. So, but yeah, that's it today. I just wanted to get on here and complain about Jude because he's always complaining himself. So figured I might as well. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.